This is the Wikipedia page for Demonym. Welcome to WikiListen, the podcast where we read Wikipedia pages and provide commentary. I'm Rachel Teichman, LMSW.
And I'm Victor Varnado, KSN, reminding you to please subscribe to WikiListen, the podcast you're listening to.
Please. Demonym. A demonym, from ancient Greek demos, people, tribe, and onuma, name, or gentilic, from Latin gentilis, of clan or gens, is a word that identifies a group of people, inhabitants, residents, natives, in relation to a particular place. Demonyms are usually derived from the name of the place, hamlet, village, town, city, region, province, state, country, continent, planet, and beyond. Demonyms are used to designate all people, the general population of a particular place, regardless of ethnic, linguistic, religious, or other cultural differences that may exist within the population of that place. Examples of demonyms include Cochabambino for someone from the city of Cochabamba, French for a person from France, and Swahili for a person of the Swahili coast.
As a subfield of anthroponymy, the study of demonyms is called demonymy or demonymics.
Since they are referring to territorially defined groups of people, demonyms are semantically different from ethnonyms, names of ethnic groups. In the English language, there are many polysemic words that have several meanings, including demonymic and ethnonymic uses, and therefore a particular use of any such word depends on the context. For example, the word Thai may be used as a demonym designating any inhabitant of Thailand, while the same word may also be used as an ethnonym designating members of the Thai people. Conversely, some groups of people may be associated with multiple demonyms. For example, a native of the United Kingdom may be called a British person, a Briton, or informally, a Brit.
Some demonyms may have several meanings. For example, the demonym Macedonians may refer to the population of North Macedonia, or more generally to the entire population of the region of Macedonia, a significant portion of which is in Greece. In some languages, a demonym may be borrowed from another language as a nickname or descriptive adjective for a group of people. For example, Québécois or Québécoise is commonly used in English for a native of the province or city of Quebec, though Quebecer or Quebecer are also available.
In English, demonyms are always capitalized.
Other demonyms are the same as the adjective form of the place, e.g. Egyptian, Japanese, or Greek.
English commonly uses national demonyms such as Ethiopian or Guatemalan, while the usage of local demonyms such as Chicagoan, Okie, or Parisian is less common. Many local demonyms are rarely used, and many places, especially smaller towns and cities, lack a commonly used and accepted demonym altogether. Often, in practice, the demonym for states, provinces, or cities is simply the name of the place treated as an adjective, for instance, Kennewick Man or Kentucky State Police.
Etymology. National Geographic attributes the term demonym to Merriam-Webster editor Paul Dixon. In a recent work from 1990, the word did not appear for nouns, adjectives, and verbs derived from geographical names in the Merriam-Webster Collegiate Dictionary, nor in prominent style manuals such as the Chicago Manual of Style. It was subsequently popularized in this sense in 1997 by Dixon in his book Labels for Locals. However, in What Do You Call a Person From?, a dictionary of resident names, the first edition of Labels for Locals, Dixon attributed the term to George H. Sheets. In his Names, a descriptive and prescriptive onomicon, 1988, which is apparently where the term first appears, the term may have been fashioned after demonymic, which the Oxford English Dictionary defines as the name of an Athenian citizen according to the dim to which the citizen belongs, with its first use traced to 1893.
Suffixation. Several linguistic elements are used to create demonyms in the English language. The most common is to add a suffix to the end of the location name, slightly modified in some instances. These may resemble late Latin, Semitic, Celtic, or Germanic suffixes, such as...
Now there's a whole list of different countries and different things. So let's just read through what the different suffixes could be. For instance, there's an. For instance, African. Africa is African, or Antarctica is to Antarcticans.
Citation needed.
Citation needed.
That's the only one that says that.
Pretty weird.
Yeah.
And then let me just scrolling down because the AN is all over the place. Like people use it for everything. But then there's IAN.
Yeah, such as Georgia, Georgians.
Yeah, that's true. Or Italy, Italians.
True that.
And then, of course, you also have ANIAN. There's only two of them. Guam, Guamanians.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then there's NIAN, like in Buffalo, Buffalonians.
Is that like a Nickelodeon?
I guess. There's INE.
Argentines?
Yes. There is A with an inye over it, a N, an O, an A, or an E with another N with an inye. It's a very Spanish suffix, and it says, as adaptations from the standard Spanish suffix E, inye, in O, sometimes using a final A instead of O for a female following the Spanish suffix standard.
Such as Philippines, Filipinos. There's also cities that this applies to, like Los Angeles, Angelenos.
You want to take that prefixation?
Yeah, ITE. For example, Bronx, Bronxites. Prefixation. It is much rarer to find demonyms created with a prefix. Mostly they are from Africa and the Pacific and are not generally known or used outside the country concerned. In much of East Africa, a person of a particular ethnic group will be denoted by a prefix. For example, a person of the Luba people would be Muluba, the plural form Baluba, and the language Kiluba or Shiluba. Similar patterns with minor variations in the prefixes exist throughout on a tribal level, and Fijians, who are indigenous Fijians, are known as Kaiviti, Viti being the Fijian name for Fiji. On a country level, Botswana, Motswana singular, Botswana plural.
Non-standard examples. Demonyms may also not conform to the underlying naming of a particular place, but instead arise out of historical or cultural particularities that become associated with its denizens. In the United States, such demonyms frequently become associated with regional pride, such as the Burqueño of Albuquerque, or with the mascots of intercollegiate sports teams of the state university system. Take, for example, the Sooner of Oklahoma and the Oklahoma Sooners.
Read the one for Connecticut.
Connecticut? The Nutmeggers?
Yeah.
I love the ones that are like names that are not even closely related to them, but just obviously something that happens inside that society.
Like
and
nutmeggers?
That's how they became named. What?
Like nutmeggers?
Like nutmeggers, exactly.
And that's a formal. Like an informal example of this would be for Australia, Aussie.
And of course, there's Wisconsin, Cheesehead.
True. Ethnonyms. Since names of places, regions, and countries, toponyms, are morphologically often related to names of ethnic groups, ethnonyms, various ethnonyms may have similar but not always identical forms as terms for general population of those places, regions, or countries, demonyms. For example, Egypt, Egyptians.
Fiction. Literature and science fiction have created a wealth of gentilics that are not directly associated with a cultural group. These will typically be formed using the standard models above. Examples include Martian for hypothetical people of Mars, credited to scientist Percival Lowell. Gondorian for the people of Tolkien's fictional land of Gondor, and Atlantean for Plato's island Atlantis.
Other science fiction examples include Jovian for those of Jupiter or its moons, and Venusian for those of Venus. Fictional aliens refer to the inhabitants of Earth as Earthling, from the diminutive ling, ultimately from Old English ing, meaning descendant, as well as Terran, Terrene, Tellurian, Earther, Earthican, Terrestrial, and Solarian from Sol, the sun.
They got a lot of slang names for Earthlings. I don't think I like those aliens at all.
Yeah, I don't either.
Fantasy literature, which involves other words or other lands, also has a rich supply of gentilics. Examples include Lilliputians and Brobdingnagians from the islands of Lilliput and Brobdingnag in the satire Gulliver's Travels.
In a few cases where a linguistic background has been constructed, non-standard gentilics are formed, or the eponyms backformed. Examples include Tolkien's Rohirrim from Rohan, the Star Trek franchise's Klingons with various names for their homeworld, and the Sanghili from the Halo franchise, also known as elites in the game by humans, as well as players, named after their homeworld of Sanghelios.
I wonder Sangelios. I don't know how to pronounce it though, even though I've played Halo quite a bit.
Nerd.
Hey everybody, that was everything you wanted to know about demonyms.
I never knew I could know so much about a demonym. This has been the Wikipedia page for Demonym. Thanks for listening to WikiListen. You can find us at wikilisten.com and on all social media at WikiListen, except for Twitter, which is at wiki_listen. Don't forget to subscribe.
If there's a particular page you'd like us to read, please let us know.